Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to a very special BBC breakfast show live from Sheffield's Endcliffe Park this morning with myself, Stephen McGovern, and of course Charlie State, who you'll be seeing in a moment. But let me just describe where I am, because we're right in the green of the park here, Endcliffe Park, and it was here 75 years ago where the tragedy struck when the US aircraft crashed here on its way back from a mission. At 8:45 this morning, we're going to be seeing planes from Britain and America saluting the airmen with a special fly pass. But here this morning, the excitement's building, and I've got two reenactors with me this morning. Captain Stephen Howell, morning to you.
Good morning.
And Sergeant Graham Barris.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. So tell me, Stephen, first of all, what gear have you got on? Who are you reenacting for us?
I would be reenacting a pilot and a B-17 bomber, or a co-pilot with the B-3 Shearling, the flight suit and the Shearling boots, and of course the silk scarf. There were 10 crew in a B-17. Graham is actually dressed as a waist gunner, which were technical sergeants, and he would be manning the 50 cal machine guns in port side and starboard side of the B-17 bomber.
And what's this you've got on then? Is this
This is my life preserver, known in the UK as a Mae West.
right?
This is the American version.
So it's quite, fascinating to see, isn't it? The uniforms that these servicemen
Indeed.
would have been wearing.
Indeed. When you think of the B-17s flying at altitudes of 20 to 25,000 feet, under this suit they would have had a heated flying suit as well, hence the Shearling boots, and you would have had boots that went inside these.
Yeah.
There were cases of men having amputated limbs because they took the gloves off to man the guns, and the fingers frozen.
The force from it and the...
Yeah, minus 30 up in the clouds there.
It's incredible to think of the conditions they would have been working in. And you can see behind us as well, we've got one of the US vehicles, the Willis G, am I right?
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. Is that yours?
Yes, that's mine. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Where do you keep it?
I keep it at home.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we've got some of the reenactors behind us. We've got one of the National Fire Service vehicles as well, and it would have been a vehicle like this that would have come to
the tragedy.
Yeah, certainly. So we're here in the main green. This is where on that fateful day, this is where the children were playing, including of course Tony, but the pilot managed to navigate the plane, so it didn't actually crash in this area, and instead crashed up where Charlie is for us this morning, which is where the memorial site is.
Steph, thank you very much. Yes, the crowds have gathered, and as you can probably see, lots of people have come in uniform. Some of them are people who do reenactments. But I think what we can see right now is RF Mildenhall, and if you haven't gathered already, we are blessed this morning with absolutely beautiful weather. The aircraft you can see now taxiing. They are doing their final preparations. What we do know is that this is the KC-135, and what we know is crews on board, obviously, they're getting ready. The 10 aircraft are going to join together up in the skies, get into formation, and they will be flying over where we are in the park. 8:45, military precision, of course, and we're expecting that to happen on time because the weather is looking good and set fair, so we are lucky. So these are the images from the air bases. Let me introduce you one or two people, because there is a great atmosphere this morning. This is Pete, Bernard and Karen, who are all involved in reenactments. Morning, Pete. Isn't this wonderful here?
Absolutely brilliant. The turnout, the crowds have come, the weather, well, what more could we ask for, Charlie?
Yes, and the outfit you're wearing, people think that is a classic sort of airman's outfit.
That's right. This would be worn during the World War II RAF uniform, and this would be the flight crew uniform.
And Bernard, were you expecting so many people to turn up here?
Yes, actually, I was, because the publicity's been very good about it, and everybody's sympathetic to this guy who's been looking after the memorial for all this time. And I met him this morning. He's a great guy, absolutely.
And Karen, if I'll just lean over, I'm trying to look behind us. The image of those 10 aircrew that we've been seeing this morning, they were such young men. I mean, it really does bring it home, doesn't it? The sacrifice.
It makes you really think what they went through and everything, and it's quite a scary thought that at such a young age, they just gave their lives, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And if come with me, absolutely. I'll just, if you follow me over this way. Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to push my way through here. Introduce you to one special gentleman here. This is Cyril. Cyril, do you mind if I interrupt for 1 second? Lovely to see you this morning. Cyril is 96 years old.
98.
I'm so sorry, 98 years old.
Yeah.
And you, of course, are a veteran yourself.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very special occasion today. You'll watch the fly past happen.
Yes, we're going to watch the fly past here.
Well, I'm very glad you chose to join us. Please take a seat. Have yourself a cup of tea. And it's wonderful to see you here. You're probably getting a sense of the atmosphere here. We are very lucky with the weather. Many people gathering here. Plenty more throughout the programme this morning. The clock ticking down for the fly past itself right now. Let's go back to Ben in the studio.
Charlie, thank you.